Okay. All right, that works. Hello, Kuro-chan. How you doing? Are you analog manga maker? Not yet, but I'm uh learning how to. Right now, the manga I make is uh an experiment and it's digital. You can read it in webcomic format even though there's only 2 episodes. It's on Webtoon. I think the link is in the description if you want to see how it looks. But I don't like how digital looks and I don't like how it feels when I'm drawing digital, so I want to learn how to do it um, on paper. This is on paper, of course, but the other work that I do is digital. A lot of the other work. This one is analog, of course, right? With these. Excuse me. I also want to become an analog manga maker, so I need some advice. It's hard to give general advice because if it's general advice, it's not gonna be very good advice. Do you have an idea of what you want to make specifically? What kind of manga? Hello, Summer Sabrina. So I can't get over the fact that you're so. Oh, thank you. I appreciate it. But I have a long way to go. My goals are pretty high. Either way, how you guys doing? Sabrina and Kuro-chan. Decent school started? Aw. Never liked school, but yeah. Well, hang in there. I was gonna play music to do my homework, but then I started watching this. So I think you can still play music. I think there shouldn't be any music coming through. It's only me on the YouTube side, at least. On Twitch, I'm listening to like some classical music. But yeah, I guess you have to do your homework anyways, right? So I just realized it's like basically impossible to see what I'm drawing right now. That sucks. I'll do it in ink just now though, so it's too hard to create a background in analog manga. What could be the process? Well, that's kind of funny. Well, I guess it makes sense too because that's what I'm gonna be doing for this stream. Right now, I'm just getting this done to, not done, but like I'm warming up. But I have some backgrounds that I'm gonna work on for this stream, so we can, I guess we can kind of see how that process is like. It depends too on the background, right? Like if it's a city background, that's gonna be really heavy on perspective. But if it's like an organic background, like forests and stuff, it should be pretty simple. Or I should say, it should be easier than an urban kind of background because if it's a city, you have to do a lot of measurements and stuff to get the architecture to look believable. Hey, what do you mean? Hey, so I'm gonna be using India ink, and I'll be using these two. Probably this one more, at least in the beginning. Hello, Makio. How you doing? Even young mouse meowster. Hello. Hello, moron. How you doing? Oh, the drawing sketch, whatever looks hot. I guess. I guess it's pretty. Doing as good as someone could for a Monday. Yeah, that makes sense. I'm doing all right. Um, Today I'm planning on trying to go for at least 3 hours, of which I don't expect people to really stay for all of it because that's if I go longer than that, it's gonna be pretty long. Um, but I have at least one background that I want to get done. I've got the references for it. I was supposed to pencil it out, but didn't get to that today. So I decided to just start stream a little bit earlier than I planned to finish the border for this thing, and then I can go ahead and pencil the background and ink it. Just make sure you keep yourself hydrated and eat something good afterwards. Yeah. Then I have a commission that I can work on uh probably Wednesday, Thursday, because the plan is to read. It's a comic book cover variant for a fellow comic book person creator. So we need to kind of figure out what the cover is going to be. So I need to read some of their script, and then we agree on an idea, and then that will be a commission that I can work on for a couple streams. It'll be digital, so we will be back in the computer, full color. But yeah, that seems to be uh, a fun commission. Um, Muichiro, hello, how you doing? Pretty. Is that a random character? Yeah, it's a random character. I don't really draw the fan art that often because I haven't watched anime in a while. But one day, I'm mainly trying to get practice with this, with the dip pen. Good. How about you? I'm good. I'm pretty good. Glad to hear you are good as well. How many days did this take? Um, I okay, so let me try to think. Actually, I think I can check. Um, the day that I streamed some of this inking. I think I only did that once, right? So I penciled it before I streamed it the same day, and then I penciled the border most of it before stream today, and I'm gonna ink that probably to completion this stream. So maybe 2 days after this is all done. I mean, like, really would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, maybe 6 to 10 hours by the time I'm done here. That's not fast, by the way. I know people who can do full manga pages in like 6 hours. So, I mean, like the illustration, I guess, isn't as detailed as what I'm going for, but still. Are you do you draw? Is that your drawing in your profile picture? Muichiro? I do draw, yes, but it's my drawing. Also, I'm super. Oh, okay. Well, I'm talking to you like I don't know who you are. Now I know who you are. You people changing your profile pictures. So hello. Do I call you Muichiro now? changing your names and your profile pictures, confusing me. Whatever you feel like. All right, I'll call you Michiro. Or maybe I'll combine the names. Maybe I'll call you Muichi Tato or something. I don't know. Hello, Kali. How you doing? You were playing Persona, I think. Doing okay? Yeah, I'm doing pretty good. I'm doing all right. Yeah. Also, I changed my name and profile picture because I lost my channel and just decided to change since it's been like that. And I got tired of it. Oh, well, how did you lose your channel? I don't know. It just one gone when I was on YouTube. Oh, so like just randomly, I guess they didn't give you like a reason. Thought they usually give like a reason. Hello, Cherry. How you doing? No, if it did, I did not see. Oh, doing good. That's good. I'm doing pretty good too. School start for you? It started for someone else in the chat. They were here earlier. It said that they already have homework. 3 more days. Oh, so I guess that's when school's starting. Okay, yeah. I guess I got the answer there. Uh, quick question: what's up with the crowns by people's names? That's something YouTube decided to implement. It's related to the points system that I uh, suspected that they were developing, except it's implemented in the most greedy way possible. So essentially, it's a leaderboard for chat participation, which you can basically pay to win. And what do you win nothing really. So I guess it's not the best uh, community system here. I meant my birthday is in 3 days. Oh, I thought you meant you're going back to school in 3 days. Okay. All right, I see. 1 year closer to dying. That's how you see it. No, in like a few weeks. Okay. Back to my. I'm back, my gang. Hello, Makio. I love the user because of Muichiro in it. Oh, I guess is that a character? Who is Muichiro? Is it a Demon Slayer? Oh, okay, yeah, it is Demon Slayer. All right, yeah, yeah. It looked like the art style of it. Sayonara to Makio. Is that Japanese? Yeah, it's Japanese. Don't you watch anime? Don't tell me you're the inferior dub enjoyer. English. Can't you read? Can't you can't you watch in subs? Do they even offer it in subs in like the streaming platforms? Like what is it, Netflix and Crunchyroll or whatever? I never used them, so I don't know. Don't want to read. I'm not surprised. Coming from someone who doesn't want to read either. Yeah. But if it's subs versus dubs, I can't listen to the English. The performances are awful. Yeah. It goes for most things though, like not even just anime. Uh Anything that's produced like whatever country it comes from, I prefer to watch it in the original language. I remember there's people who were they were watching Squid Games in English and I'm just like, "Oh my gosh, how could you? That's blasphemous." Korean cinema, I feel like it must be watched in Korean. Yeah, people were watching that in English dub. A lot of people. You would be surprised. Tried learning Japanese at one point, but then I lost interest and quit. Yeah, same. Yeah. Yeah, it was really bad too. Like it feels like if that was their first experience with watching the show, um I feel like they probably lost a lot of people who would have enjoyed the show but didn't because they watched it in the English dub. all the emotions, not all, but like so much of the emotion is lost. Of course, the characters don't match. Like the voices, a lot of them don't match from the person. It's just very weird. Yeah, I can. We can tell who here has done this. You might as well rewatch the show at this point. My cousin watches the English dub, and I'm like, it just sounds so wrong. Yeah. But yeah, it was always like that. The mount's not syncing well, especially for like I used to watch Chinese movies a lot when I was younger because they used to have a lot of kung fu movies back in the day, and a lot of the times the the original language wasn't even like available. They just kind of sold it to you as the dub, and it was very like nothing worked. Like the character voices were not the characters that they were supposed to represent. They didn't sound like them. Uh, Translations were probably all wrong. Things just didn't make sense a lot of the time. And of course, it doesn't look right because the voices and the mouths don't sync.
Yugi boy, Yugi boy, Yugi boy.
Oh, hello, Ruin. How you doing? Let me see. Oh crap. Oh, thank you for the sub, Ruin. I appreciate it. Yeah, we're learning how to ink traditionally, or at least with dip pen, because I know how to do it with like what's it called? Like a normal pen. But I want to make the comic. I want to transition to making the comic traditionally. So I like the original Korean version with subtitles. Yeah, I feel like they should make the English one. Like they should make the English one illegal. um, but yeah, I feel like it takes away from the art form. That's why. Looks very elegant. Yeah. Oh my gosh, I've been waiting for Ruin to comment because I forgot how to spell his name, and I have been waiting to find his channel. Oh yeah, you were originally subbed to his channel. Yeah. So Ruin, this is Muichiro is um potato, sir potato. The drawing, I mean, yeah. Might change my profile picture again. Oh no. That's well, at least if your name stays the same, that will be easier than a complete identity change like Muichiro here. I um I'll have trouble remembering people at some point. Doo-doo. Yeah, we'll still say the same. No worries. Yeah. By the way, I hit back and into BL and Yaoi. Okay, that's what you wrote. You've relapsed. How unfortunate. Yaoi. I just can't stop. It's sounds like an addiction. Sounds like a problem. Not addicted to yaoi, don't worry. I don't even watch it. That's good, that's good. I'm not like those people. I just get bored and remember there's that stuff and I watch and watch and then I go to bed and watch again because YouTube put it on my read. Okay, it's YouTube's fault, huh? Are you are you gonna blame YouTube there? I'm not like those people, she says. Yeah, she's a. If there's anything you should be defensive about, I think it's Fujoshiism or like denial about, I guess. Oh my gosh, Michiro wants to corrupt you. Not being free, I can't watch it because I get my history check. But this kind of implies that you want to, but you don't because you actually have uh what's it called? Parental supervision, which is a good thing in this case, at least most cases. Having parents that care. I don't know, but I have friends that who do. Yeah, it's when I was in school, I remember there was like I knew some people, I guess, who also watched it. Back then it was they were I guess they were pairing Shishomaru and Inuyasha. They're brothers, but that didn't stop them, I guess. Who else? There was other ones. There was other shippers or whatever, shipping pairs or whatever. Stay out of it. They have the disease. Well, then watch one video a day and then watch a bunch of your normal stuff and watch. Why do you have a strategy laid out for this, Muichiro? Why do you have a strategy? Help what? I feel like I'm getting better with this pen. Either that or the actual tip of it has been broken in to where it's actually doing what I want it to do more often than not, at least. Because I'm almost able to use it as easily as like a normal pen. Maybe I can zoom in a bit here. Strategy is insane. We don't ask questions, we just do it. I have many questions. I have many questions, but I don't think any of the answers are going to make any sense. We listen and we don't judge as type, yeah. So the ink is flowing better. That's part of why the pen seems to be working. Because I'm having to actually refill more often, it seems. Well, I can answer questions, but like you said, you will not understand. Indeed, indeed. I'll just pray for a cure instead of asking questions. Oh, I also got able to draw realism and got a new like anime art style. Also, what cure you be talking about? Don't worry about it. Hello, Jam Games. How you doing? So you draw. You can draw. I guess like realistic portraits and stuff, or like a more mature anime style, maybe. Realism is painful. I drew realism once. I used to draw a lot more, especially when I was like learning. So like the path that I took for learning uh was maybe more conventional in terms of like you learn how to draw realistic anatomy and then um you learn how to simplify it or change it after you kind of figure out how to draw something in the real way. The benefit is that you learn a lot of good techniques like observation and rendering and stuff like that. The bad thing is that when you have to do more stylized work, it can be you can kind of have trouble being as flexible. I mean, it's more like a 15-year-old who drew this, so aren't you that age anyways? Um, it's not the best, but it's not terrible. That's good. That's good. I don't know if you're in my server, but you can share your art there if you want. Hello, Futombo. How you doing? Learn anatomy. I just saw a YouTube short on how to do bodies, and then just did that, and then added all the realistic parts, and cried for 12 hours straight, but it was fine. See. And then you watched a bunch of yaoi. That's what you did, right? Tried drawing realism a few years back. I thought it I thought it did good until I looked at it years later. I need to learn anatomy. It's always like that. You always go back to the stuff you did, and you're like, um, it's always not looking good, which is not bad because that means that your sense of direction is becoming more and more developed. Even though I guess it can be frustrating too, right? So yes, of course, means you're improving. Yep. Yes, now you get it. Yeah, see, I was right. Rendering process videos, right? Meow. I guess you're posting those on Instagram. Do you post on YouTube, Futumbo? Because I don't think I'm subbed. If you do, I don't know. Yeah, they're on YouTube. Oh, do you? I wonder if you have your stuff linked on your at Telsen on YouTube. Okay, I'll search that up. Oh wait, that's that what's it called? Yeah, I know what that is. Let me see. What the heck? Okay, move. Telsen project. Okay, I'm not subbed, but this looks nice. How the hell are you only 15, 16, I guess now subs? That's crazy. When did you start your channel? Or I guess you were uploading. Yeah, okay, I see. That's a similar thing that happened to my channel. Very infrequent uploads. But you're also live here. I mean, 5 months ago. Okay. You should go live more often on YouTube as well. Good night, Kali. You know, I'm not addicted to yaoi, but I am addicted to carbonation sodas. You should have some water to wash down the carbonated soda because you don't want the sugars getting stuck in your teeth. Not as concerning, but my mom judges me for it sometimes. Yeah. Well, the sugariness of sodas does threaten to catch up with you, especially in like later years where you burn less energy Because if you don't burn a lot of energy, then or if you burn a lot of energy, then the carbohydrates are used at least. But when you're less active or you're not growing, I guess you'll use a lot less of the carbohydrates and the proteins from your food, and then it will just become fat. Some people they don't have a change of eating habits, and it was fine when they were younger, but when they get older, do drink water though. That's good. Yeah. Who here has a massive sweetness addiction but can't control it? I actually don't really care for sweets. Is that weird to you? How dare I? They are amazing. I prefer like savory taste stuff. So I typically prefer like meat, I guess. My favorite food is hamburger. Oh, I like savory foods and some spicy. Yeah, spicy is good. Spicy is like helps me eat food fast and then get back to work. I realize I gotta go to bed. Yeah, I was thinking that you guys both probably have to go to bed soon. Um, might be in like 2 hours. I thought you were on the more along my time zone. Yeah, you guys probably gonna have to go to bed soon. I'm gonna be on for a while because I want to stream for longer, and I also want to get some more work done. So I want to grind my EXP with these tools a little bit here. It's 10:50. School hasn't started for me, so I don't have to. Oh, Beer back, snack o'clock, eating before you sleep. Better brush your teeth before you sleep. Oh yeah, I beat Atelier Riza, the first one. I don't know if I've talked much about it. And the jump in systems, I guess, like the mechanics of the gameplay between the first and the second one is pretty crazy. I'm glad to see because I think it was like massively successful, so they probably rerouted all those funds from the first game uh, to develop the second game to be even better. Oh, I need to blow my nose. Oh, okay, that's much better. And I heard that, sir. Let me and my snacks be okay. All right. Ideally, I'd eventually have the confidence to do this with a brush because like you can't really match the flowy lines uh, of a brush. But that's definitely not for this paper because brushes apply a lot more ink, and not only would that cause a lot of bleeding, but I think it would also wrinkle the paper because this is like letter size printing paper or copy paper. Why do you wear a glove or whatever? To prevent any ink smudging or pencil smudging, all of that stuff, paint. getting on my hands. And preventing oils from going into the actual paper itself, which can cause problems with certain media. Like, for example, if you were to use watercolor paper and you're sketching without covering your hand, the oils from your hand are depositing in the watercolor paper, and that might cause problems when you try to apply water because obviously water and oil don't get along, right? By the way, I ordered brushes for watercolor specifically, um, as well as something else. Oh yeah, some tape, watercolor tape. So, or gum tape actually, but I'll be using it for watercolor. So yeah, that's there probably tomorrow. Although I won't be really using it on stream for a good while because I want to kind of figure it out off stream before I do watercolor on stream. I mean, I might do like random experiments, but for the most part, I want to know what I'm doing a little bit before I do it on stream. Also, I actually love coloring now. I still yet to fall in love with coloring. I like it more than I used to because I'm more familiar with it, so it's more understandable to me now, but still have stuff about it that I need to figure out. Eventually I will. I think I like it. Probably not in the same way that I like ink though. I mean like black and white because ink can also be uh color, right? Can I use simple color tools such as crowns, markers, and color pencils? Now, now I can use simple coloring tools such as crown markers and color pencils. Crowns markers. What are those? Is it like acrylic paint markers or only love coloring because I use oh Crayons. I'm using the microphone on my keyboard, so I misspelled it for crown. Oh, okay. Anyway, I'm gonna go ahead to bed so then I don't wake up at like 1 p.m. like I have for the last month. Okay, bye. Yeah, have a good rest. Stop watching yaoi. Cool. All right, so uh now is a choice I have to make. Do I fill it in with marker or do I no yeah, I'm gonna fill it in with a lining technique, not marker. what I'm doing right now could be accomplished in um, just a couple minutes, really, in digital. But for some reason, digital still takes longer. So at least for me, I guess there's something about other parts of the process that are that really drag me down when I'm working in the computer. Very clean. Yeah, it's pretty good so far. There's like it's somewhat off, but it's okay, I guess. The like if it was like a professional work, I would use a ruler for sure. There's someone that I talked to actually for uh, this sort of ink style. They saw my Medusa Gorgon and the snake thingy that art, and I guess they're like a Dungeons and Dragons group from the UK. Like they sell dices and all that kind of stuff on their online store, and I guess they have a representative that contacted me for potential work there. But I'm sure they contacted a bunch of people that are probably more like they have more of a portfolio for this sort of stuff. Like obviously I can do it, but I don't have um much of a portfolio. But they were um the project was actually pretty interesting. A monster guide sort of. So there'd be a bunch of illustrations of Dungeons and Dragons type stuff. That would be pretty much up my alley. So I think maybe what I should do is start to like take the projects that I do on stream a little bit more seriously, and that way I can build a portfolio over time for that. So really, I should be using a ruler, even though this is not like a super serious project, but it's not doing bad. It's doing okay. Do you have that sort of stuff planned, or is it just idea stage? What stuff? Portfolio pieces, or do you mean? Do you mean that commission? The one with the UK company? If it's that, they just contacted me, so there's nothing set in stone there. Like a few days ago, but I'm pretty sure they're gonna find someone with more of a portfolio and go with that person. designs like this, embroidery, they can be done a lot faster digitally. Now that I think about it, but it's so fun to do them like this because you have like the symmetry tool and uh, the tone tool, which can render all those lines for you in perfect order. So really, that's like two layers. So now this section here is going to be a challenge to keep straight. I mean, like I have reference points here, here, and here. Like in pencil, I don't think you can see that. So I'll just I'm gonna change the playlist in a sec. Let me just run the ink off my pen here. Paper is buckling a little bit because of the I guess that's enough for it to buckle because of just that little bit amount of ink. But my thumb is hurting. Damn. I wonder if I can hold it like this. 5 minute break, I guess, yeah. But the thing is that like it always gets to hurting here for a long while. It's been doing that, and I've decided like I could hold the pencil like this and draw, but I just don't do it as often as I should because obviously old habits die hard. I'll just like hold it like this, and eventually this thing will start to. You can't really see it because of the glove. It will lock like this, and because when it locks like this, it kind of I guess there's something with the pressure of like pulling or pushing the joint in a way that it's not supposed to go. Um, so yeah, if I hold it like this instead, there's less pressure. Because like if I hold it like this and like press down, this will give way eventually, and then it'll become. Oh wait, that's not even on screen. Hmm. Oh yeah, I can try like this. I mean, you're almost at the usual 2 hours. Plus, you've been doing line after line, so you're straightening it a bit more. True. I want to go for at least 3 though. So if we're already almost at 2 hours, I'll take like a 3 minute break, I guess, for the 2 hour mark, and then I will. If it's still uncomfortable, I'll stop aligning this, and I will transfer to sketching something because I can hold the pencil a lot less like rigidly when I'm sketching out or planning out a drawing. The problem is that I don't know if it's going to pick it up on the camera. Uh, and that's why I usually like to do the sketchings off stream because then I don't have to worry about that. But whenever I leave things to do off stream, almost never get to it really. So that's another issue. It's never really art time until it's stream time. Let me see what I have. All right, so pencils for woodland backgrounds. I have references for them already, at least. Sketches for phase fan projects. I have some ideas to do there. Redesign for comic characters. Outline and thumbnails for pages for the comic. Those are some of the things on a little memo I have here. I like make lots of lists and stuff. Uh, It's starting to feel more normal again. So maybe I'll try holding it in the other way. But I'm gonna have to draw more from my shoulder. There's more of a chance that I could mess up, I think, in that case. What was it, like this? Yeah. I guess I'll have to go slower. What if I hold it? This is the most relaxing way to hold. But it's usually if you're drawing in pencil and you have your thing stood up like this and you're holding like this. That's basically the most comfortable, tension-free way to draw. Apparently, it's how they drew in the caveman days. But with these more fine utensils, I guess it became. Yeah, I think I have to keep it down. I was testing that out to see if. Wait, no, it's not that much different. Definitely can't do that. There's just not enough control. Okay, guess I wasn't gonna make it to that other drawing anyways, really, so I'll have to really try to pencil it out before I get to it. Uh, before I do it on stream. I'll just finish this one up. I'll go a little slower, I guess. And I'll hold it like this to kind of practice doing it that way. Because here is a good position for the camera. Okay. Wonder why I get so emotional at nights. Is it like when you have nothing really distracting you from your thoughts, maybe? Can I assume it's a hormonal thing because it's been consistent? Is it a music thing too, you think? Because, I mean, like, I guess ultimately a hormonal thing. Music really screws up my emotions sometimes. Yes, that's true, but I always feel like I'm thinking about stuff, even wondering if I'm the way I am because of that. Do you write like besides besides story stuff, do you like write out your not even like a journal, just like trying to figure out stuff in life, just like writing random shit. Not even something that you want to keep really, but like something that I used to do for years and I was getting nowhere with it really, but uh stuff that I was working on never really panned out. But regardless, the whole time I would like write out my plans or thoughts or whatever each night just so that I could like it helped me fall asleep basically writing out before it once, but then I can't even stay on topic there. It also was just like indecisive and contradictory in and of itself. I think when I felt like that, I probably just drank myself to sleep, but that's not a good thing, obviously. But it's what I did, so I guess I can't really. I don't really know what the solution is then because all I did was more of like a sedative, I guess. Like rather than figuring it out, I just kind of buried it. play any other games lately besides, I guess, Zenless? And I think I talked about Atelier. I started the second one because I beat the first one. It's a really big upgrade. But Unicorn Overlord, I've been playing. Feel like they infantilized a lot of the game. Uh, but it's still fun, so whatever. Uh, what else? Oh, Grand Blue. Grand Blue Relink. I've been playing that. Really fun. If I had friends, it would be funner. But it's basically like Monster Hunter if you played a Monster Hunter game, except uh, it's not necessarily about like hunting a particular monster. You just have like a hub that you and other online players, if you want to. I never do this, but if you want to, you can basically assemble a crew, fly out on a ship to a land, which is a level, and run through it, defeating mobs, exploring, and finally taking out a boss or two. There's some games from my backlog that I need to like I started them, but I need or like some of them I didn't start yet. Actually, there's a bunch of them that I didn't even start, but I can go back and play those too. Getting back into gaming was actually really good. I think maybe I was lacking dopamine or something because like my mood has become much better. Gaming was something that like I used to do a lot of, but I like cut it off completely because it was taking up so much time. And I guess that's not exactly the best thing to do. You could probably just try to manage it, but my attempts to managing it were failing, so I was like, all right, we're stopping this right now. But I don't really do anything like for leisure. So as long as you so long as you truly feel like you're in a good place. I think the games are more so like a mood thing. So like if I'm in a particular mood, it's a sense that you kind of have. Like I don't know if you sometimes when you're like eating, you feel like not eating a particular thing, whether it's like a fruit or maybe it's meat or whatever. And then sometimes you really feel like eating that thing. I feel like that's your body telling you that you need that. or something in that thing. Um, so you feel more like eating it. For games, it's kind of like that for me, at least. So it's a very temporary or circumstantial thing. But what's been more than that to like help me has pretty much just been prayer in the Bible. That's been like the most peace kind of thing, I guess. Especially if you get caught up sometimes with like shit that's going on in the world. But also if you have like personal, like your actual life, the thing that is actually more relevant than whatever's going on in the world, it can also bring peace there. Not even much into it. I've just been getting back into it the last couple of years. Ever read through full? Yeah, yeah, yeah. So when I was young, I read through it fully. By the age of 15, I'd read through it once. And by the age of 20, I'd read through it twice. But I've read the King James version. And I don't have any intent of reading any other version. I mean, like the New King James version is, I guess, you can kind of trust it because it's not just updated language. I guess it's also like updated or more well researched, technically, than the other versions. But I like that's just like how raw the King James version is. It's it like forces you to really try to understand each verse, and I feel like there's merit there because you're not being spoon fed either someone else's interpretation or a potentially like erroneous translation. My favorite book since I was a kid was Revelations. Revelation, which is basically an apocalypse. It's a my interpretation of a lot of the stuff in Revelation is like the stuff you'd see in like an analog horror, like I guess the Bible in general, if you look at it holistically, is kind of resembles a cosmic horror if you want to interpret it that way. Like you could technically interpret it that way. I don't know if it's ever been done justice really. Like you could make a really fleshed out what's it called? Like fantasy, not fantasy or like I guess historical fantasy, but yeah, you could really make either based on or directly adopted something pretty crazy with that. Really, any of the books in Old Testament that don't have a human name attached are pretty out there. Yeah, and then they have the Apocrypha, the uh, I guess like they're not canon according to Catholics or even like as Protestants because the MLK or not MLK Martin Luther. I think they have like 50 something or 66 books. I think, but then there's way more in the Eastern Orthodox. And then there's also references in the Bible to books that we don't have because they've been lost, books that weren't written or weren't completed. But of the books that we kind of do have some of, they're pretty crazy. Like the Book of Enoch is probably one of the most well known as far as like Old Testament craziness. It's also the Book of Jubilee, yeah, and the Gospel of Judas. Yes, some of them are like known frauds. You'd have to like look through them to like find which were and weren't. But there's a lot of figures in the Bible that if you like just consider the time that they had and like what they were doing, they for sure wrote a book that we don't have. Like there's no way Abraham didn't write a book, you know? But we have the Old Testaments from Moses. Um I know a lot of people like to say, "Oh, they're illiterate," but like a lot of the assessments of illiterate populations turn out to just be false. Like you can't run a farm without being literate in some way. Like there's a lot of old um newspapers and everything that are testament to how literate people were in the past. You have letters written from people who were thrown into war from farmland, and their writing is like poetry. You have book sales that don't match what they tell you about people being illiterate in the past. Uh, there's so much stuff. And then there's the whole thing with the Noah situation, like how much was written before Noah that is lost. Because I think the book of Job technically happens before the flood, I think. I'm blanking on it. Holding it this way makes it difficult for the ink to be as flowy. I don't know why. Maybe it's like the angle of the dip pen or something here. I like to read through it again properly because like every time I read through it, I guess like this is something that happens when you read through it at different stages in life because you have more context from your lived experience. There's verses that speak to you more fully than they would if you were reading it as a 15-year-old or whatever, right? Which just makes sense. It is almost relevant to any book. But lately I've been reading mostly proverbs, which I guess is it's almost synonymous probably with like stoic writings. Maybe it needs to be cleaned, I guess. I don't know. It's not flowing as well as it was in the beginning, but it does have a lot of like residue on it at this point. So maybe I should clean it up. I'll move this up as well. kind of messed up here, but it's not super noticeable, I don't think. Whenever I'm holding it like this, yes, it is less of a problem on my joint, but there tends to be like a curve to the lines unless I make sure that I'm doing this from my shoulder. So it is something I need to watch out about. Yeah, and I have to like fight it too. There's like a curve here. If I go out, it's less of a problem. It seems like the nature of your line seems different depending on if you're pulling in or pushing out. I guess like going side to side is pretty much gonna be the same, right? Because when I'm pulling in, I'm curving in like that. So I'm using my thumb. But when I'm pushing out, I'm not using it. I'm just using my shoulder. I think reading the whole thing, like talking about the Bible again, reading the whole thing is pretty much like that should be like mandatory for Christians because there's so much like callbacks. You could be in the very end and it would have callbacks to the very beginning. But then throughout it also has several callbacks and it's great. Crazy to think too that the various authors wouldn't have access to the other doctrine, but and yet there's like callbacks in all the writings to all the rest of the writings. So when are we gonna get a table at Comic Con? Never. I've never been to a con, and I don't intend. Have you been to a con, Fatumbo? I don't know if I'd be comfortable in that environment, or like even if I had stuff to sell, I don't know. I'd probably, if I ever did that, would send someone on my behalf, unless I grow balls by then. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe I'll have the confidence to do that if I have like a solid product. Yeah, when I lived in LA, no cosplay. All right, like people typically cosplay, right? So yeah. Just buying official Japanese art book, yeah, that would be a lot of the stuff you can get there is a big plus to going. Like I'm not someone who really cares to meet. the creator of this or that, but sometimes there's stuff you can more easily at least get at a con that would be difficult or too expensive to import, or maybe it's not even available on Amazon, stuff like that. But yeah, I definitely would want art books. I don't really care for trinkets. I like it. I could add some more details, but I don't think it's necessary. Like, I was thinking about shading the little swirly things in there, shading them with a line in a different direction. Because if I did it, if I was, for example, shading, crap, if I was shading this part here, and I was doing it down, then it would blend in. So I would have to do the lines in like another direction, so like that way. It's kind of screwed up in that regard here, because there's an order of the lines that I just didn't have. Like, I didn't plan on making. Okay, I'm gonna make all the lines this way and then all the other lines that way, and then it just kind of all over the place there. But yeah, the quality is pretty decent. It's something I need to do is try to use a different try to switch my tools up, because I use basically just this one, and I should have used this one plus this smaller one, because there could have been benefit there with the lines on the body, which should be more delicate if I'm going to be using lines on the body, because otherwise I should just be using a wash on the skin that keeps it smooth. There are instances where like you would use lines on the skin, but more often you'd want to either have the smoothness of a wash or accompany the lines with a wash, at least, to just keep that sense of smoothness, like the texture of a skin. Otherwise, you're kind of like, at least for me, it feels like you're mixing textures up, like the cloth and the hair. Uh, it's kind of okay if they're similar in texture, although you want the cloth to be different, so you do the cross hatching instead of just hatching. Like if I were to have done cross hatching in the hair, it would look like fabric, right? Like it would have that mesh pattern. And that's fine to have in the fabric because that's fabric. Where am I? Oh yeah, I'm almost at 3 hours. Cool. So I guess I'll just wash this off. I guess I'll scan this in later. Um, I guess I regret not doing it on better paper because it did turn out okay. And that means that after I scan it in, I could try to do like watercolor or something, but it's on such bad paper, so I don't know. That might ruin it. If it was on better paper, I could be more confident about trying watercolor on it. Looks good, yeah. Looks good enough for manga. So I would say I would say that I'm decent with these now. I feel like there's some techniques that I need to work on though. They might not even really be related to the tool itself. It might be related to um I guess just the approach to the drawings. Like freeness of the lines and stuff like that. Maybe if I do brush, I will um like if I was using brush and ink, that would bring me closer to achieving that kind of a line work. All right. So we're almost at 3 hours. I'll just consider it 3 hours. um, what are the plans? All right. So I have the penciling to do for some woodland backgrounds. Have to do those before I get started. I have to read a script to ideate some concepts for that commission. Character designs. Maybe I should do some rough sketches. And then like put them together properly on stream, because then at least the idea part is done for that. Rough sketches, and then like what's it called? The penciling for like a reference sheet. Yeah, I think I'll continue to think about what I have for the next stream, because I do have stuff. Hopefully the scanning goes well, and if you ever do watercoloring, hopefully it doesn't burn through the paper. Good luck with the reading. Yeah. All right. You guys have a good one. I'll see you guys either tomorrow or the next day. We'll see how things go.